Welcome to Lecture 4, where we're going to take a look at the new latest version of the Google Ads interface. Okay, great. So this is the latest version of the Google Ads interface. As you can see, when it loads up, you get an overview of your account. That'll show you how many clicks you've had, how many conversions, the cost per conversion, and the cost overall. Here you can see that we've had 398,000 clicks, and that's given us 9,610 conversions at cost of £17.19 per conversion. So overall, we've spent £165,000 in my account at the moment. It will also show you here changes since last year or the year before. You can see obviously the conversions on this have gone down, but you also notice that the clicks have gone down a lot as well, so it's costing a lot less to get a similar amount of conversions, which is always good. It shows you the biggest changes compared to previously and what your costs are up on and what you're spending more on. It will also show you different conversions in your campaigns, your cost of your campaigns, and how much each conversion is costing you. You can click on all campaigns here to go to your campaigns and have a look and change things. Here it's got the search keywords that are working the best and what you're spending the most on, and the searches and words that are being typed into Google relating to your advert. It'll also show you most shown search ads and your most shown display ads. You can see which ones are the most popular and which ones have got you the most clicks or conversions. Also, you get auction insights, which will show you your impression shares against competitors and how well you're doing. You can see here that we've got a 14% impression share, which is quite good, and a 70% top of page rate with an average position of 2.6. You can also see on the right here the devices that we're getting our clicks on and where our spend is going. You'll notice that the majority of clicks come from mobile. That tends to be the case with most businesses these days. You can also get some demographics of the age range of the people who are searching for your product and the amount of impressions you've had on each one, male or female, and their age. Also the networks that you're showing ads on, so you've got the display network and the search network. You're always going to probably get more clicks if you're running both campaigns on the display network, because they tend to be a lot cheaper per click, but you do get a much lower conversion rate. Also here we can see the day and hour that we seem to do the best in. So this in the darkest here is Monday, and between 8 and 9 o'clock at night we seem to get the most impressions. You can change this up here to click-through rate, cost, conversions, etc., and take a look at whatever you like. This is a really useful tool that is really accessible now on the new platform, which is fantastic. Next we'll take a look at the top bar up here. This is your account number and email address linked to the account. Here you get any notifications if your ads have been disapproved or there's recommendations for your account that could help improve your campaign. That'll pop up here. You'll see a little red dot there when it does. Also here is the help section. If you click on that, it'll give you some help. You can also call Google, make sure you have your customer ID ready, and they will be helpful. Sometimes the people you speak to actually know less than you though, so do bear that in mind when calling them. You can refresh the page here, and tools up here, quite a bit in that. We've got billing and payments, and that's where you get your bills from, and you can update your payment method. Account access, linked accounts, preferences. That's if you want to link somebody else's Google AdWords account to yours and manage it for them. You can do that and charge them quite handsomely for it if you know what you're doing, so that's a great opportunity for the future. Here we can measure conversions. This is a key part of tracking how well that your campaign is actually doing. You need to know that you're going to get a good return on your investment, and the only way to do that really is to track where your success is coming from, so you can see that you're spending your money in the right place. You can also link your Google Analytics here. You'd need to do this definitely if you're planning on doing remarketing. I can show you how to do that later on. And then we have bulk actions and shared library. This is just a bit of information that you can look at for placement exclusion lists. that's places for your display campaigns that you want to exclude. So for instance, if you didn't want your advert to show up on certain websites for whatever reason, you can exclude them. And this is a list you can create for future campaigns. You can also do negative keyword lists again if you don't want for your search campaign for your advert to show up with certain keywords typed in, because they may not be relevant to your product or service. Then we've got ad preview and diagnosis here in planning. That's really handy. That is basically just a tool so you can search for your own advert and see if it's appearing and where it's appearing without actually affecting your statistics by doing it on Google's main site. That's really handy. I wouldn't recommend ever searching for yourself online when you're doing a paid campaign unless you use this tool, because otherwise it can mess up your statistics and it can actually lower your click-through rate. So even if you don't click on the advert, it can actually end up costing you more money per click. So please don't do that. We've also got Keyword Planner here. This is great for generating ideas of keywords that you're going to use in your campaign and really looking for things that are going to help people find your product or service. Often you can think of a lot of keywords yourself, but this will show you also how many people are searching for it and how much you're likely to pay per click as well, which is really handy when you're stuck to a tight budget and you're trying to plan your campaign. Okay, great. So if we click on recommendations here, this will give you recommendations for your campaign. Anything like you need to add more ads, or it'd be better if you separated some keywords into a different ad group. Or on mine, you can see that I've just got on pause a campaign. I've just paused my campaign currently while I'm running through this. This is a list of your campaigns. So when you go to your campaigns, you can look at all the different ones and see how much you've spent on them, etc. Here's quite important. You can change the columns. So you've got cost here, your budget, etc. If you want to change your columns, you can modify the columns and you can add different things to the columns. For instance, you could add competitive metrics, which I always find is a good one. And you can have a look at search impression share and apply that, and then you can see what impression share. The impression share is how many people are searching for it compared to what percentage of people your ad's showing to. So for instance here we've got a 58% impression share. That means 58% of people who are looking for my product, typing in my keywords, are getting to see my advert, which is pretty good. We can then go into ad groups. You can either do this by clicking ad groups here and looking at all ad groups for every campaign, or you could go on a specific campaign by clicking on it, and that will automatically bring up the ad groups for just that campaign. Again, we can change the columns on here. So we've got, at the minute, we've got cost per conversion, conversion rate, cost, average cost per click, click-through rate. What's great as well is if you're unsure of some of them, you can just hover over it and it'll give you a little description of what that is. It's great to refresh your memory if you're not so sure. Again, you can change columns on this and modify your columns and add different attributes to it, etc. You can put change history, performance, conversion. Performance is always a good one. I do recommend having click-through rate and impressions, and cost is essential as well, so you know what you're spending. So that's all good. Next, we're going to take a look at our ads and extensions. You can do that again by going into just an ad group just to look at those specific ones, or at the moment you can see up here that we're in this particular campaign. We can just go straight ahead and click on ads and extensions and it'll just bring them up for that campaign. You can see here, switch on your business electricity. These are some of the adverts that are in that campaign. Again, we can change any of these columns we want to, and we can look at the change rate, etc. Landing pages. This will give you a report on your landing pages. This is a new feature in the new Google AdWords. I don't use it at the moment, but it's something that I'm looking to use, which is really handy, and it'll give you some information on which landing pages seem to be the best. Like I say, I haven't really taken much interest in looking in this one yet, but it's something definitely for the future. Here again, for this campaign, we'll get keywords up. This will give us a list of keywords. You can see that some of them have got different match types, which we'll go into later. That's what these brackets and plus symbols are in front of them. You can see that the maximum cost per click I've got set quite high here because it is a very competitive industry. You can also look here at negative keywords. These are keywords that we've added that we don't want to show up for. For instance, contact, because we're trying to sell business electricity, but we don't want someone to put in contact British Gas, for instance, because they'll get us and that's not what they're looking for, so we're very unlikely to get a sale from them. We've also got search terms. This is what people have actually typed in. This is a really handy tool. They've made it a lot more accessible. You used to have to go into it a different way, which took a bit more time. Now it's really easy to just go straight ahead and look at your search terms, and you can add some of these if you want to, just by simply clicking and adding them to as a keyword or as a negative keyword if you don't want them to show up for it. So you can see here what people have been typing in. This gives you a great idea of how to move your campaign forward, which is great. We've got audiences here. These are audiences we've set up through tracking them, which we can set up remarketing lists, etc. We can look at demographics of our customers and what kind of age group they are, whether they're male or female. We can also take a look at the settings of our campaign. We're going to go into that a bit more later because it's quite complicated and you've got to make sure you've got that right. We've got locations. That's where your ads appear. You can see here where we've set up locations for this campaign, and we've got a list of where it is at the moment. It's set in United Kingdom. You've got an ad schedule of when your ad's set to run. We've got devices. That's any bid adjustments, because we can change how much we bid on computer, mobile and tablet, depending on which brings us the best results. It might be worth it to pay more on a mobile because you might find that it costs you less overall to get you a conversion, which is still profitable for you. Then you can look at change history. That's if you make a change to your campaign and notice the results dip, you can have a look to see which point it was, and you can actually change back the thing that you've changed. This is really good if you're trying something out and you make a bit of a mistake and you find that the performance of your campaign dips. You can also run drafts and experiments on campaigns with a small part of your budget to see which works best. So that's pretty much it over the new Google Ads interface, but it's a lot better, a lot cleaner and a lot faster to use than the last one, and everything seems a bit more accessible. If you do want to just go back onto all your campaigns again, you need to go back to the top and click on all campaigns, and then you can start again on the side. But it is really good. Here we'll give you a list of your campaigns. You can have a look at search campaigns and display campaigns here. So it's great. So we're going to get on with the more interesting part of the course now. So I'm looking forward to seeing you soon, and see you soon.